Okay, so be honest with me. What time is it right now? Because if it's somewhere around 11 at night and you're on the couch trying to relax after a long day and you're hearing that sound, that wet, rhythmic sound coming from the corner of the room, yeah, you know exactly why you're here. You look over and your dog is working on their front paw like it's the most important job in the world. You tell them to stop. They look up at you with those innocent eyes, wait about 5 seconds, and go right back to licking. And maybe you've already gone to war with this thing. You bought the bitter apple spray, and your dog licked right through it. You tried the cone, and spent 3 days listening to it bang against every doorframe in your house while your dog stared at you like you had betrayed them. You switched to that expensive, sensitive skin kibble, the $60 bag, because the pet store employee said it might help. And here you are, weeks later, watching your best friend chew their paws raw. The fur between their toes is turning that rusty, reddish-brown color. The skin underneath is pink and angry. It is exhausting. And honestly, it's heartbreaking because you can tell your dog isn't doing this for fun. Something is bothering them, and nobody can tell you what it is. But what if I told you that the answer isn't in another spray, another cone, or another bag of kibble? What if I told you the problem usually isn't even on the paws at all? And what if I told you that the two things that finally break this cycle are sitting at your local grocery store right now, and together they cost less than $10? Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Ken Mori, your neighborhood veterinarian. It's late here, by the way. I'm recording this at my kitchen table. The clinic clothes are still in the laundry basket, and Mochi, Mochi is asleep about 3 feet from this microphone, snoring, completely unbothered that this entire video is basically about him. I make these videos for one reason. Every single week, someone sits across from me, exhausted, holding a dog with raw paws, and says the same sentence. I tried everything. And my heart breaks a little because they did try everything. Everything the pet store aisle sells. So tonight, you get what I tell them. Constant paw licking is one of the most common complaints I hear from dog parents, and here's a number that might surprise you. Year after year, skin and allergy problems sit at the very top of pet insurance claims. They are the #1 reason dogs are brought into a vet's office. #1, ahead of stomach problems, ahead of ear infections, ahead of everything. So if you're feeling like a failure because you can't fix this, okay, deep breath. You've been sold sprays and cones and miracle kibbles by an industry that makes money treating the symptom, not the cause. You are not a bad pet parent. You just haven't been shown what's actually happening down there between those toes. Today, that changes. Here's our plan. Today, I'm walking you through my complete 7-day paw reset. You're going to learn what's really driving the licking, the one thing I want you to add to your dog's bowl starting tonight, something I call the Golden Drizzle, plus a 2-minute evening trick I call the Pickle Bath that brings relief this week, not next month. And near the end, I'm going to warn you about a wildly popular internet paw-soak recipe, one with over 1 million views, that I am begging you never to use on your dog. Grab a pen and a notebook, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the rest of this series, and let's dive into Chapter 1. Chapter 1. The Itch Triangle. To defeat an enemy, you first have to understand it. When a dog licks their paws non-stop, there are almost always one of 3 things going on, and I want you to picture them as a triangle, because they feed each other. Corner number 1, allergies. Just like people, dogs can be allergic to pollen, grass, dust mites, and sometimes ingredients in their food. But here's the difference. When you have allergies, you sneeze. When your dog has allergies, they itch. And their paws are ground zero. Because think about what a walk actually is for your dog. It's like you walking barefoot through a field of itching powder, and then never washing your feet. All of that pollen and dust sticks to their pads and settles into the fur between their toes, and it just sits there, itching, all night long. Corner number 2, yeast. This is the one most owners have never heard of. There's a microscopic organism called Malassezia. That's a fancy word for a type of yeast that naturally lives on your dog's skin in small, harmless numbers. But yeast has a dream home, and that dream home is anywhere warm, dark, and damp. Now picture the space between your dog's toes, warm, dark, and damp all day long. A tiny greenhouse down there. When the conditions are right, that yeast population explodes, and a yeast overgrowth is intensely, maddeningly itchy. And here's your homework for tonight, and I'm completely serious. This is my favorite part. I'm sorry, I know it's disgusting, but I need you to pick up your dog's paw and smell it. I call this the corn chip check. If that paw smells like corn chips or musty old cheese, that smell is yeast. That's not a quirky dog thing. That's the actual odor of a yeast overgrowth telling on itself. And hey, listen, no judgment if your dog fails. I'm a veterinarian, and my own dog failed the corn chip check. Twice. Mochi, if you're hearing this, buddy, we talked about this. Corner number 3, and this is the cruelest part, the lick loop. When your dog licks an itchy paw, their tongue leaves behind warmth and moisture. And what did we just say yeast loves? Warmth and moisture. So every single lick waters the garden. The itch causes the licking, and the licking feeds the itch. Left alone, this loop does not break itself. It spirals. That's why your dog can go from occasional licking to raw, stained paws in a matter of weeks. So that's the enemy. 3 corners, feeding each other, all night, every night. Now, here's the uncomfortable question. If the triangle is this simple, why didn't the spray work? Why didn't the $60 kibble work? Oh, I've been waiting to answer that one. Chapter 2, the Band-Aid aisle. Now let's talk about why everything you've tried so far hasn't worked, and I promise, this is not your fault. Myth number 1, he's just bored, it's a habit. I hear this constantly, and listen, boredom licking does exist, but here's my rule as a vet. A behavior that intense almost always has a body problem underneath it. By the time licking looks like a habit, there's usually an itch that started it. Treating it as only a behavior problem is how dogs end up suffering quietly for years. Myth number 2, bitter sprays and cones fix licking. Okay, look, think about what these products actually do. The itch is a fire alarm going off in your dog's skin. A bitter spray? A cone of shame? That's not putting out the fire, that's unplugging the smoke alarm while the toast keeps burning. The moment the spray wears off or the cone comes off, the licking comes right back, because the itch never left. And why does the pet industry keep selling you these? Because a product that stops the symptom for 3 days guarantees you'll be back in that aisle next week. A fixed dog doesn't buy anything. So if sprays are Band-Aids and cones are just muzzles for the symptom, what actually breaks the triangle? That brings us to the moment you clicked for. Chapter 3, the Golden Drizzle. It is time for the big reveal. The thing I want you to add to your dog's bowl tonight and every day for the next 7 days and beyond. Ready? It's fish oil. Specifically, a liquid omega-3 fish oil rich in 2 compounds called EPA and DHA. In my house, we call it the Golden Drizzle because that's exactly what you do. You drizzle it right over dinner, and most dogs think it's a treat. Mochi hears that bottle cap unscrew from 3 rooms away every single time. Let me explain why this works when the sprays don't. Underneath all that licking, your dog's skin is inflamed. Inflammation is the fire that makes allergies itch and lets yeast take over. Omega-3 fatty acids are your dog's natural fire crew. They work from the inside, calming the inflammatory response and rebuilding the skin's protective barrier. Think of your dog's irritated skin like a leaky tent in a rainstorm. Allergens pour through every gap. The Golden Drizzle is how you re-waterproof the tent, seam by seam, from the inside out. Now the dosing. Phones out, screenshot this part, because precision matters. You're aiming for roughly 20 to 30 milligrams of combined EPA and DHA for every pound of body weight, once a day, with food. So if you have a 40-pound dog, that's somewhere between 800 and 1,200 milligrams of combined EPA and DHA per day. Check the back label of the bottle, add the EPA number and the DHA number together, and do that quick math for your dog's weight. For the first 3 days, give half that amount and let their stomach adjust, then move up to the full dose. 3 warnings on the bottle you buy, and these matter, so stay with me. 1. Buy a pet-specific fish oil that lists the exact EPA and DHA amounts on the label. If the label just says fish oil, 1,000 milligrams, and won't tell you the EPA and DHA, skip it. 2. Never ever use human gummy omega supplements. Many gummies are sweetened with xylitol, and xylitol is deadly poisonous to dogs. Even a couple of gummies can be an emergency. 3. Don't substitute cod liver oil. It packs high doses of vitamins A and D, and at these daily amounts, that's too much of a good thing. And now, let me be honest with you in a way most videos won't, because your dog's health deserves honesty. The Golden Drizzle is not an overnight miracle. Omega-3s build up in the skin over 4 to 8 weeks. That's when you'll see the deep transformation. Calmer skin, thicker coat, way fewer flare-ups. No miracle promises on this channel, ever. So why does my protocol promise calmer paws in 7 days? Because the drizzle is only half of the reset. The other half works fast, from the outside. And that brings us to my favorite part of the whole routine. Chapter 4. The 2-Minute Pickle Bath. I can hear you already. But Dr. Mori, my dog is chewing their paws raw tonight. I can't wait 8 weeks. You're right. And this is where we attack the yeast directly. Tonight. Remember, yeast is throwing a party between your dog's toes because it's warm, damp, and cozy down there. We're going to shut the party down by changing the chemistry. Here's the recipe. Take raw, unfiltered apple cider vinegar, the cloudy kind, and mix 1 part vinegar with 2 parts warm water in a basin or a deep baking dish. If your dog's paws are very red and tender, make it gentler. 1 part vinegar to 4 parts water. Stand your dog's paws in it, make sure the liquid gets up between the toes, and hold there for 2 to 5 minutes. Yes, your dog will briefly smell like a pickle. That's the pickle bath. It's 2 minutes, it costs pennies, and yeast absolutely hates it, because that mild acidity makes the skin a place yeast can't thrive. 1 absolute rule: never use the pickle bath on broken skin. If there are open sores, cracks, or bleeding, vinegar will sting badly and slow the healing. In that case, skip to Chapter 6, because that dog needs a vet, not a soak. And now, the step that most people skip. And it's the most important step of the entire routine. After the soak, or after any rainy walk, any bath, any swim, dry those paws completely. Get a towel and dry between every single toe. Yeast in a damp paw is like mold in a wet basement. You can scrub the basement all you want, but if you leave the water in it, everything grows right back. 2 minutes of soaking means nothing without 30 seconds of drying. Still with me? Good. While we're here, 2 smaller weapons for your arsenal. First, the gut guard. There's a beneficial probiotic yeast called Saccharomyces boulardii, a friendly yeast that actually fights the bad yeast from inside the gut, where a lot of skin trouble quietly starts. The dose is simple, about 1 gram, or 5 billion colony-forming units, once a day with food, and double that for dogs over 50 pounds. Second, the pollen rinse. During spring and summer, keep a jug of plain water by the door and give those paws a quick 30-second rinse and towel dry after grassy walks. You're literally washing the itching powder off before it clocks in for the night shift. Now, before you sprint to the kitchen, do not try to do everything at once. Here is the entire 7-day paw reset, and it's beautifully simple. Every morning, the Golden Drizzle in the bowl. Every evening, the 2-minute pickle bath, then dry those toes like it's your job. That's it. That's the whole protocol. Add the gut guard if your dog failed the corn chip check, and the pollen rinse if it's allergy season. By day 7, most dogs are licking dramatically less, and you've started the deep repair that keeps it from coming back. Chapter 5. A warning that might save your dog. I need to pause the masterclass for a moment, and honestly, this is the reason I recorded this whole video. If you only remember one thing tonight, let it be this one. If you search for paw-soak recipes online, you will find extremely popular videos and blog posts, some with over 1 million views, telling you to add 10 drops of lavender essential oil to your dog's paw-soak. Please, do not do this. Here's the problem. Lavender essential oil contains a compound called linalool, And concentrated linalool is toxic to dogs when swallowed. And what is the one guaranteed thing a paw-licking dog will do the moment you finish a soak? Lick their paws. Whatever you put on those paws goes directly into your dog's mouth. Even 1 or 2 drops of concentrated essential oil can make a small dog sick. Vomiting, drooling, worse. Tea tree oil is even more dangerous. As a veterinarian, I'm begging you, never put anything on your dog's paws that you wouldn't be comfortable with inside your dog's stomach. And remember this forever. Natural does not equal safe. Hemlock is natural. If a recipe calls for essential oils on skin your dog can lick, close the tab. Chapter 6. When to stop soaking and start driving. Okay, deep breath. Because home care is powerful, but part of loving your dog is knowing when this is bigger than your kitchen. 3 red flags. Write them down. Red flag 1. Blood, open sores, or cracked pads. No soaks, no waiting. That's an infection risk that needs professional eyes. Red flag 2. A lump or swelling between the toes. That can be something called an interdigital cyst, basically an angry, infected bump between the toes, and most of them need prescription treatment. A soak will not fix it. Red flag 3. Your dog is only licking one paw, or they're limping. That's not allergies. That pattern says pain or something stuck. A thorn, a grass seed, a torn nail. And one more. If you've done the full 7 days faithfully and nothing has improved, or the paw problem comes with constant head shaking and gunky ears, your dog likely needs a proper allergy workup, possibly a food trial. At that point, do not Google it at midnight. Do not crowdsource it from a Facebook group. Call your vet. You'll have already done the smartest possible first week at home, and honestly, your vet will love you for it. Chapter 7. You've got this. Let's bring it home. The fact that you stayed through this entire video tells me everything about the kind of dog parent you are. Your dog can't explain that their paws are burning and itching. They just quietly suffer and lick. But they have you. And now you have a plan. The corn chip check tonight, the golden drizzle every morning, the pickle bath every evening, and dry those toes. 7 days. Now I want to hear from you. Tell me your dog's name, their breed, and be honest. Did their paws fail the corn chip check? Mochi says you're legally required to tell me. Drop it in the comments because I read every single one, and your story might help another exhausted dog parent scrolling at 2 in the morning. If this video finally explained what a year of sprays and cones couldn't, hit that like button. It takes 1 second, and it tells the algorithm to show this to the next struggling owner. Subscribe and join our family of educated dog parents. Because next week, I'm decoding why dogs shake their heads at night, and if your dog's ears smell a little funky, you do not want to miss it. And send this video to that one friend whose dog is always licking. You might just change that dog's whole life. Your homework tonight is simple. Smell those paws. Look between those toes. Check your supplement labels for EPA and DHA. That's it. Give your pup a gentle scratch behind the ears from Dr. Mori. Stay curious, trust your instincts, and I'll see you in the next one.